Explosive accusations from President Trump today alleging former President Obama tapped the phone lines at Trump Tower just weeks before the election. Welcome to Waters World, everyone. I'm Kimberly Guilfoyle, in for Jesse Waters. So are the accusations true? What does Obama say about all of this? Who is behind it? And are these alleged taps even legal? We'll talk about all of that and much more tonight. But first, we head to Mar-a-Lago, where President Trump is about to meet with some of his staff. Fox News correspondent Kristen Fisher is there with the very latest from his camp. Kristen?
Hey, Kimberly, well, it's been over 12 hours since President Trump first tweeted out this shocking claim that former President Barack Obama wiretapped some of the phones inside Trump Tower during the campaign. So it's been several hours, and yet we still haven't heard from many White House officials. They haven't really provided any proof or evidence yet to back up these claims. But let's take a look at really the tweet that started it all from President Trump this morning. He said that, quote, "How low has President Obama gone to tap my phones during the very sacred election process? This is Nixon Watergate bad or sick guy." Well, in response to that, Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff said this, and I'm quoting here. He says, "If there's something bad or sick going on, it's the willingness of the nation's chief executive to make the most outlandish and destructive claims without providing a scintilla of evidence to support them." So some really big accusations here, and if true, it could lead to some very serious trouble for former President Barack Obama and his staff. You're essentially accusing him, a president, of wiretapping the campaign headquarters of his political adversary. But if false, then it really just gives critics of our new president, President Trump, a lot of ammunition. They've been saying that, perhaps he plays loose with the truth, and this would play right into that if the claim is false.
Okay, and what have we heard from President Obama?
Well, he put out a statement through a spokesperson a few hours ago, and it's a denial, of course. He's denying that any of this is true, but it's not quite as ironclad of a denial as you might have thought. Here's the exact statement. It reads, quote, "A cardinal rule of the Obama administration was that no White House official ever interfered with any independent investigation led by the Department of Justice. As part of that practice, neither President Obama nor any White House official ever ordered surveillance on any U.S. citizen. Any suggestion otherwise is simply false." But you'll note that he doesn't offer that same denial for the FBI or the Department of Justice. Now, it's not really his place to do so, but it is pretty noteworthy that he at least left that door open a little bit. Kimberly?
Okay, and what is Team Trump doing right now? They're at dinner, correct?
Yeah, they're at dinner. They're having this big dinner at Mar-a-Lago. About an hour ago, President Trump had a meeting with his Secretary of Homeland Security and Attorney General Jeff Sessions, likely to talk about that new revised order on immigration, which is expected to come sometime early next week, possibly as early as Monday. But right now, they are all sitting down at dinner at Mar-a-Lago, along with his newly confirmed Commerce Secretary, Wilbur Ross, and some senior staff members, including Steve Bannon and Stephen Miller. So a lot to talk about tonight at dinner at Mar-a-Lago. Kimberly.
All right, Kristen, thank you so much. Perhaps they are watching right now. And Geraldo Rivera joins us now in studio. So lots to discuss. Two lawyers together tonight. Perfect timing in terms of this story to go over some of the specifics. As you saw, Kristen saying that the president is down in Mar-a-Lago. He started this morning when he tweeted the information, sounding like he had just received it. And then hence the story started breaking from there.
I woke up this morning to do Fox and Friends and was greeted with the news. A couple of observations. As the President of the United States is with the Attorney General right now and with General Kelly in dinner and Steve Bannon and these other key aides, I think it is incumbent on President Trump to clarify his tweets this morning. I mean, with all due respect to the Commander-in-Chief, he can't put out something as explosive as these particular tweets, these allegations, these extraordinary allegations that the 44th president wiretapped the 45th president. This is very, very nuclear stuff. And the president has to tell us whether he really believes that the tweets that he issued this morning are accurate. Are they literally true, or are they hyperbole? He has to tell us that, because right now the consequences are enormous. Why? First of all, I just as a parenthetically, One of the nicest things about the transition has been the relationship between President Obama and President Trump.
Right.
They have been very respectful of each other, and President Trump has even gone on to suggest that President Obama must like him because they're always so nice, and President Obama has always been so giving to him, President Trump. So for him to call President Obama bad and sick, I mean, wow, there must be something going on. Now, is it paranoid ravings of the new president? I don't think so. He wouldn't just get up there, read Breitbart, and start spewing stuff about wiretapping. It would seem to me that there is something going on. There is some kind of surveillance in Trump Tower, or has been going on. Now, when you consider that the FBI and everybody in the world now agrees that Russia has been hacking or hacked our election,
yeah,
then that's what the investigation is about. So was there a FISA court, was there a Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court warrant to justify a surveillance of Trump Tower? I think that that is a very, very crucial issue.
And what's really important here, so people understand what you're saying, and as a lawyer, let's explain it, go through them, you know, exactly what is FISA? How do you go about getting that kind of authorization to conduct what we loosely term wiretapping? The FBI usually is the ones that will be the proffer of that kind of request. So talk about that.
The Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, the justices are from the district, the federal district courts. They are appointed by a Supreme Court judge. The court is secret, which makes it very different than any other court. It is a secret proceeding. You never hear what happens in a FISA court. A FISA court concerns exactly what it says. Foreign intelligence. There has to be evidence that a foreign government or an agent for a foreign government has been conducting espionage in the United States or against the United States. So is there probable cause for a FISA judge to issue a warrant? Is there probable cause, in other words, that someone in the Trump campaign and later in his transition and then in his administration was conspiring with a foreign government to do what? Were they working to undermine the Democrats in the election, Hillary Clinton? Were they telling Vladimir Putin after Donald Trump won the election, don't worry about Obama's sanctions, you know, they don't mean anything to us. Once President Trump takes office, you're not going to have any sanctions. What was going on? What is Donald Trump talking about? He has to. I think it is incumbent on the 45th president to tell us what's going on.
If this is true, it is explosive. This is something that would be very serious in terms of if the administration in any way was involved, if in fact they did put this forward, what was the justification for it, and that's why there is the concern. I mean, I agree with you. It seems to me that there was something that perhaps President Trump was made aware of, and it was almost like an excited utterance in the form of a tweet that was contemporaneous with receiving that information. He put that out, so it must be based on something that he was told by the intelligence community or some information he came across.
There's only two options. Either the wiretap was legal, that is, it has a FISA warrant attached to it, a judge has signed off on it, or the tap itself is illegal. If the tap is illegal and someone is snooping on people in Trump Tower,
then it's Watergate.
Then it is Watergate. Then it is a break-in, a digital Watergate. It is a very, very serious felony.
But if it's legal and they were justifiably listening to foreign agencies or foreign government conducting espionage in the United States, and it was picked up pursuant to a legal wiretap and warrant, then there would be no foul play.
What is the probable cause?
Right. What is the justification for it?
What is the justification, the legal justification? How in the world did they get a warrant? What was going on that convinced the judge that there was probable cause to issue this warrant?
Because there has to be some means or grounds available to say that there is sufficient evidence that there's some kind of crime that has occurred or something going on as it relates to espionage, which is a little suspicious since we've been getting all this information about the Democrats trying to associate, during even the election, President Trump, his team at the time, candidate Trump, with the Russians, saying there was some kind of nefarious relationship going on.
Yeah, I love the fact that that the Trump administration and the Republicans are showing pictures of all these prominent Democrats with the Russians, with the old commies. Oh yeah, look at there he is having donuts. Senator Schumer having donuts with the Russian ambassador, the spy master, and all the rest of it. Good for the goose, good for the gander. Let the Democrats be embarrassed. Well, this is much more serious.
Yes, absolutely true. And that Russian ambassador was at the White House 22 times under President Obama, so he was at all the functions. All right, Geraldo, I'm going to ask you to stand by for a moment, and thank you so much. And still to come are accusations like this too much for Twitter, or is it really the only way that President Trump can get a fair shake? Our panel is going to debate it. And next, a former Bush administration official says she knows the wiretappings did in fact happen. She's going to fill us in when we come back. Stay with us.